Beloved God, source of mercy and strength, as we enter this moment of stillness, teach us compassion that flows from love, not from self-erasure. Help us give freely without losing the truth of who we are. Be present with us now. Amen.
Welcome to this meditation. Today we explore compassion, not as a burden or rescue, but as a wise presence that honors dignity and releases control. So often, those of us with tender hearts find ourselves carrying more than we were ever meant to hold. We confuse love with fixing. We mistake presence for responsibility. We give until we are hollow, believing that exhaustion is the price for kindness. But what if compassion could be different? What if mercy could flow through you without draining you? What if caring deeply did not require losing yourself? What if there was a way to love that preserved both your dignity and the dignity of the one you serve? This is the promise we'll explore together. By the end of this meditation, you may discover a new way of being with suffering, yours and others. A compassion that is steady, wise, and grounded. A mercy that acts without entanglement. A love that knows where you end and another begins. There's nothing to fix right now, nothing you need to carry. You're invited to simply rest, to breathe, and to allow clarity to emerge in its own gentle time. Find a comfortable position, seated or lying down, wherever your body can soften and release. Allow your eyes to close or let your gaze rest softly downward. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long, easy exhale through your mouth. Again, breathing in, noticing the cool air as it enters. Breathing out, feeling your shoulders drop and your jaw unclench and your chest open. One more time. A full breath in, filling your lungs completely. And a slow release, letting everything that does not serve you flow outward with the breath. Now let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. You do not need to control it. Simply observe It's gentle coming and going, like waves on a quiet shore. With each exhale, allow yourself to settle deeper into this moment. Feel the weight of your body supported by the surface beneath you. Notice where you make contact. Your back, your legs, your feet. You are held. You are grounded. You do not need to hold yourself up right now. Rest here for a moment, simply being, simply breathing, simply present. As you rest in this gentle stillness, you might notice something arise, a heaviness you've been carrying, perhaps a person whose pain you've tried to absorb, a situation you've tried to control, or a relationship where your helping has left you depleted rather than whole. You do not need to analyze this now. Simply allow it to surface, like a leaf floating up from the bottom of a pond. Acknowledge it with kindness. You might gently say to yourself, I see this weight. I have been carrying more than was mine to hold. There is no judgment here, only recognition. Only gentleness toward yourself. Many of us learned that love meant carrying, that compassion meant absorbing another's suffering into our own bodies, that being a good person required feeling responsible for outcomes we could never control. But this is not the compassion you were designed for. True compassion does not collapse into another's pain. It stands alongside it, present, witnessing, offering what can be offered, without drowning, without rescuing, and without losing the self. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read that when Jesus looked upon the crowds, he was moved with compassion. For they were weary and scattered, like sheep without a shepherd. Notice what this passage reveals. He saw them clearly. He did not look away from their suffering, but neither did he collapse beneath the weight of it. His compassion was rooted in seeing, truly seeing the condition of the people before him, not projecting, not assuming, not rushing to fix, simply seeing. And from that clear seeing, wise action could emerge. You are invited now to consider, what would it mean to see clearly without being overwhelmed? To witness suffering without believing you must absorb it. To stand in the presence of pain without believing you must control the outcome. This is the foundation of rightly ordered compassion. It sees, it feels, it responds when response is wise. But it does not carry what belongs to another. It does not confuse caring about with being responsible for. Allow yourself to rest in this truth for a moment. Let it settle into your body like warm light. I can care deeply without caring completely. My compassion is a gift, not an obligation. My presence is enough. Now, let your imagination open gently. Picture yourself on a dusty road, winding through rocky terrain. The sun is warm on your face. The air smells of earth and wild herbs. You are walking slowly, without destination, simply present to the landscape around you. Ahead of you, you notice a figure on the roadside. Someone is wounded, someone in need. As you draw closer, you do not rush. You do not panic. You allow yourself to see, to truly see this person before you. Their suffering is real. Their need is genuine. And something stirs within you. Not guilt, not obligation, not the frantic energy of needing to fix or rescue. What stirs is compassion, warm, steady, grounded. You feel your heart soften. You feel your body remain calm. You notice that you can be with the suffering without being consumed by it. In this sacred story, the Samaritan saw the wounded man, had compassion, and went to him. He bound his wounds, he provided care, he brought him to a place of rest. But notice, he did not carry the man forever. He did not abandon his own journey. He did not promise what he could not give. He offered what was his to offer, and then he entrusted the rest to the innkeeper, saying, "Take care of him, and I will repay you once I return." There was no over-responsibility, no fusion, no erasure of self, only wise, boundaried love. You might gently ask yourself, what is mine to offer? And what must I release to other hands? Before we turn back toward the world, there is one more essential movement. The same compassion you extend toward others must also be offered to yourself. If you have exhausted yourself in helping, if guilt has driven you to give beyond your capacity, if you have confused control with care, you are not a failure. You are a tender-hearted person who learned patterns that no longer serve you. Place your hand gently over your heart if it feels right to do so. Feel the warmth of your own palm. Feel the steady rhythm beneath. You might silently speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I release what I was never meant to carry. May I trust that my compassion can be wise without being cold. May I know that boundaries are not walls, but doorways to sustainable love. Let these words settle. Let them nourish the places within you that have been depleted by misdirected giving. The book of Proverbs reminds us that mercy must walk hand in hand with wisdom. Compassion without discernment can become enabling. Helping without boundaries can become harm to you and to the one you seek to serve. This is not a cold teaching, it is a liberating one. You are not asked to harden your heart. You are invited to strengthen it, to allow your compassion to be steady rather than reactive, grounded rather than guilt-ridden, discerning rather than anxious. True mercy does not rob another person of their own growth. It does not swoop in to rescue those who must walk their own difficult roads. It does not confuse love with control. True mercy honors the other person's dignity, their capacity to struggle, to choose, to learn, and to rise. And it honors your dignity too, your right to give from wholeness rather than depletion, your worthiness of care even as you offer care to others. You might gently affirm to yourself, I can be compassionate and wise. I can be loving and boundaried. I can care without collapse. As we begin to close this time together, you are offered one gentle invitation. In the days ahead, you might simply notice, without judgment, where compassion is being asked of you. And as you notice, you might gently ask, what is mine to offer here, and what is not mine to carry? This is not a rule. It is not a demand. It is simply a small doorway into a more sustainable, more dignified way of loving. You do not need to change everything at once. You do not need to perfect your boundaries today. Simply notice, simply wonder, simply allow. Now, as you prepare to return to the rhythm of your day, take one more slow breath, breathing in a sense of peace, breathing out any lingering heaviness. You are held, you are known, you are loved, not for what you give, but for who you are. The compassion that lives within you is a gift, not a debt. It flows best when you are grounded, when you are rested, when you give from the overflow rather than from the dregs. May you walk forward with a steady heart. May your mercy be wise and your love be free. May you honor both your own dignity and the dignity of those you serve. And may you trust deeply, quietly, completely that you are enough, that your presence is enough, that compassion, rightly ordered, brings healing to the world without breaking the healer. Rest now in peace. Rest in dignity. Rest in trust. Transforming minds, empowering souls, and as always, peace, love, light, and unity.